Hello! Today I'm going to tell you about my weekend. You're going to learn some vocabulary and then you're going to use it in the comments below. Okay, let's go.
You're watching
Real English
with
Real Teachers.
Real Teachers.
So, what was special about this weekend? It was my girlfriend's 30th birthday. Big 3-0. She's getting on a bit, isn't she? Almost over the hill. So we call it over the hill when someone is too old. And 30 in Britain is considered to be that age that you joke about you being at the peak of your life, I guess. Everything's downhill from here, meaning everything's getting worse. I would say that's a lie nowadays. We live a lot longer. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get to the point. So, Stacey's birthday. I planned something special. I booked us a trip away in the countryside, in what they call the bush out in Australia. The countryside is called the bush. And I forgot when I booked this place that it's a drought at the moment and there are a lot of fires in the forests. It's pretty insane how much of the forest is burning at the moment. It's quite a crisis. Australia have a crisis on their hands at the moment, and Sydney is really, really smoky because of it, so it's hard to breathe. But anyway, I booked this place, got a message saying it was okay. It was still safe to go to this place, thank God. So we got in the car, surprised Stacey, didn't tell her anything about it. I said, we're just going away, pack your bags, and I'll take you to the secret destination. After an hour or two, I realised I'd forgotten the presents.
What did you forget? The presents.
So we drove back an hour and I picked up all the presents and then continued on our way. That was quite annoying actually, really annoying. We got there with the presents. The cabin was perfect. And within an hour we saw some real Australian wildlife. It looked like a kangaroo was at our doorstep wanting to come into the cabin. I couldn't believe it. Normally, kangaroos are quite aggressive in the wild, especially, so you have to keep your distance. But this one, I don't know if it was the fact that it was a different species. The owner said it wasn't a kangaroo, it wasn't a wallaby, it was a wallaroo. Anyway, it looked like a kangaroo for me, so I kept my distance. But Stacey was very happy to feed it instantly, and it did look really, really tame, and I think it was actually. Stacey loved it. She really likes animals, a bit like a kid loves animals. You know how when you take a kid to the zoo, they're just incredibly happy. We'll get back to the video shortly, but I'd like to tell you that this video is brought to you by italki, a website that helps you learn languages in the most efficient way. We share the opinion that speaking with an actual human is the best way to learn and improve your conversational skills. You can find teachers like myself and Harry on that website that will customize lessons to cater for your own learning needs and interests. And all of this is really affordable, especially if you compare it to what is currently out there for you. Offline tutors or face-to-face tutors are on average 30% more expensive than online tutors through italki. italki lessons are quite literally a fraction of the cost of academy or language schools that can cost thousands of dollars and with far less flexibility. And then you've got your softwares like Rosetta Stone, which is actually quite surprisingly again more expensive. At $200 for a beginner CD, that could be the equivalent of almost 20 lessons on italki. So if you want to learn in the most natural, effective and enjoyable way, then we've got a $10 discount for you after your first lesson purchase. So click that link in the description box and hey, I'd be honoured to be your first italki tutor. So thanks italki for giving us the chance to give you free English video content. Let's get back to where we were in the video. Incredibly happy. She's a bit like that, so it was really nice to see. That happened, I got busy with the barbecue, and then actually halfway through cooking the barbecue, some possums turned up. I thought a possum was like a large rat that hisses and pisses on you if you get near it, but turns out it was another tame wild animal that they have around the cabin. I managed to cook the burgers, yay, go me, and the rest of the evening was pretty uneventful. The next morning I got up early and had to wrap some presents, write some cards, and get her some breakfast. I wanted to treat her to breakfast in bed. I rarely cook, and when I do, I like to do it just with one thing, focusing on one thing only. But I was multitasking, so yeah, I was getting a bit stressed. Alright, so breakfast, presents, birthday card. I designed this birthday card. I copied it, but I made it, and Stacey thinks it's the worst birthday card I've ever made. I thought it was quite funny. In wine years, you are extra fine. And then her birthday year, I thought it was funny. But birthday presents done, and now we were starting the day. It was hiking and going to a lagoon. A lagoon is like a big lake in nature. So what I thought was a big lake. The hiking trail started with a 7-kilometer off-roading experience. I bought a 4x4 when I arrived in Australia, and I love it, mainly because it's got that 4x4 switch. Got there, parked up, and we had a 1-kilometer walk in the blistering heat. It was very, very hot. We had quite a lot on our backs because we had a picnic and I had camera stuff, and it's so much hotter than on the coast. So this 1-kilometer walk felt like quite a challenge. We then realised that we had no phone service at all, and out in the bush it's quite scary because you start to think about all of the things that could go wrong. If a snake came up to you and, you know, bit your head off, what would you do? And there were also these like lizardy dragon things. I think they're called gahanas. Yeah, I think they're called gahanas. And they were basically like snakes with feet. Got to the lagoon and it was dried up. So it just looked like stagnant, brown, horrible water. Or it was like a puddle. We had the picnic. I fell in the water. That made Stacey laugh. I tried to fly my drone and it went mental. I lost control of it for about 5 minutes. And then we thought, okay, we've got no water left. Let's head back to the cabin and just enjoy the cabin. So we packed everything back up and we made that 1-kilometer walk back to the car. And then we got to the car and we were like, thank God. Thankful that no one had nicked it. And we were about to get in, and then I realised that the back right tyre was flat. It had been punctured. So we were thinking, oh no, we've got to change the tyre in this heat as well. So we got the spare tyre out. I've never actually changed a tyre. It probably says a lot about me because I'm nearly 30. Got the tyre out. It nearly rolled down the hill because we were on a really steep decline, which is a tricky environment to jack up a car. You know that little bracket that you put under the car and you do it? It's called a jack. And on a slant, that won't work. So we tried it, failed, and started getting really stressed. And then we rolled the car down to a little bit less of an incline. And once it was on slightly flatter ground, we managed to jack it up successfully, changed the tyre. I had very greasy hands, but I felt like a man. Got back in the car, drove home successfully, and all went swimmingly from that point forward. Yeah, it was all good. So we went back to the cabin, had some cheese and some wine on the porch with a bath that was there, so it was beautiful, really nice. And then we went for dinner, and after that, the next morning we packed up, said goodbye to the wallaby or wallaroo that turned up again. And then we hit the road, and then along the way we went to another bay and did some horse riding there, which was fun. But yeah, that was pretty much the weekend, and then got back to reality, and here we are back on Monday, starting the work week. Anyway, I thought you'd like to hear how my weekend went, because yeah, it was an important one, and I think I managed to, despite the dramas in the middle, have a successful birthday for Stacey.
Woo!
So there we have it. I appreciate we don't normally do monologue style videos, but I wanted to see if I can make some useful real English without a script on my own, as Harry and I are on such different time zones at the moment. And thankfully, we have plenty of language for you. So I have created an online flashcard pack for you to download for free to revise the advanced phrases I used in this video. So click the link in the description box to get these on your mobile telephone to practice them on the go. A couple of announcements from me and Harry now. Our next immersion course is on the 27th of March to the 5th of April in the UK. If you would like to attend, then click the link in the description box and fill out the form online, or email us at harryandcharlie@rewrt.com. Harry also has some more dates available for his own courses, so check out his website for those dates. And lastly, if you are in Sydney, Australia, I am launching the Sydney Speaking Workshops, giving small groups of students some intense 3-hour speaking workshops to boost their confidence and communication skills weekly. More details for this can be found below in the description box or at my new website domain, www.charliesclasses.com. That's all, folks. See you beautiful learners next time on Real English with Real Teachers. Don't forget to tell me what you thought of this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, share our channel with people who don't know about it, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Ta-ra for now. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram to get more day-to-day posts and stories helping you learn English in more dynamic and interactive ways.